Hi, and welcome to Woven English. Are you learning English? Great! Let's improve your English through a very interesting story. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment. Now, let's get started. What if I told you that one man, a boy who once ate from a single slice of bread a day, now controls more wealth than the GDP of many countries? We are talking about Elon Musk. And yes, the first thing most people think about when they hear that name is money. And it is fair. Because we are not just talking about someone who is rich. We are talking about the person many call the wealthiest human being who has ever walked on this earth. His net worth has crossed $300 billion. That is a number so big it is almost impossible to imagine. If you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you almost 822 years to spend it all. But here is what makes Elon Musk truly fascinating. The money is not the story. The money is just a result of the story. The real story is about a lonely boy in South Africa who reads so many books he practically lived inside them. It is about a young man who left everything he knew to chase a dream that most people thought was absolutely impossible. It is about rockets that exploded, cars that almost never got built, and a man who refused, again and again, to give up. In this video, we are going to walk through his life from the very beginning. We will learn about the decisions he made, the risks he took, and the lessons that anyone, including you, can carry into your own life. And while we do that, you are also going to improve your English. You will hear natural, clear English storytelling. You will meet new vocabulary. And you will practice listening in a way that feels easy and enjoyable. Before we go any further, drop a comment right now and tell us, where in the world are you watching or listening from, and what time is it there right now? We love knowing where our Woven English community is listening from around the globe. Now, let's begin. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. Pretoria is a beautiful city with jacaranda trees lining its streets, painting them purple every spring. But growing up, there was not always beautiful for young Elon. His mother, Mai Musk, was a model and a nutritionist, a person who studies food and health. She was strong, intelligent, and independent. His father, Elon Musk, was an engineer. On the surface, the family seemed successful. But behind closed doors, life was more complicated. Elon had a younger brother, Kimball, and a younger sister, Tosca. The three children were close. But Elon's relationship with his father was not easy. Errol could be cold and demanding. He pushed Elon hard. Later in life, Elon would say very few kind words about his childhood at home. It was a difficult chapter that shaped him in ways both painful and powerful. What saved young Elon? Books. He read everything he could find. Science fiction novels, encyclopedias, books about physics, computers, engineering, and space. He read so fast and so much that the people around him sometimes did not know what to do with him. By the age of 9, Elon had already read through the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. That is a set of more than 30 thick books filled with knowledge about almost every subject in the world. He was also fascinated by computers at a time when very few families had one. He taught himself to write computer code from a manual, a small instruction book, and by the age of 12, he had created his very own video game. He sold the code for that game to a computer magazine for $500. Not bad for a 12-year-old. But school was another story. Elon was not the popular kid. He was quiet, awkward, and deeply serious about ideas that most of his classmates found boring. He was bullied, often and badly. On one occasion, a group of boys threw him down a flight of stairs and beat him so hard that he ended up in hospital. He had to stay home for weeks to recover. It was a lonely childhood in many ways, but it was also the kind of childhood that builds something rare, an inner world so rich and so determined that nothing on the outside can easily break it. As Elon grew older, one thought kept returning to him. He did not belong here. Not in the sense that Pretoria was a bad place, but in the sense that the world he wanted to live in, the world of invention, of exploration, of ideas changing the future, that world felt very far from where he was standing. South Africa also had a law at the time that required young men to join the military. Elon did not want to do that. He did not want to spend his best years in an army. He wanted to build things. He wanted to change things. So at the age of 17, Elon Musk made a decision that would set everything else in motion. He left. Canada was cold. It was enormous. And it was nothing like Pretoria. Elon arrived with very little. Some savings, a bag, and a determination that most 17-year-olds simply do not have. He had a distant cousin somewhere in Saskatchewan, a vast province in the middle of Canada. He made his way there, found work wherever he could, on a farm, in a lumber yard, cleaning the boilers of a sawmill, and slowly built his footing in a new country. He eventually enrolled at Queen's University in Ontario, where he studied for 2 years. He was bright, focused, and always looking for people who were thinking seriously about the future. It was here that he began to find his people. Engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs. People who asked the same kind of questions he had been asking since childhood. Then came a letter that changed everything. Elon was accepted to the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most prestigious universities in the United States, part of a group known as the Ivy League. He transferred, packed his bags again, and moved to America. At Penn, Elon studied 2 subjects at the same time, economics and physics. Most people choose one. Elon chose both, because he believed that to truly change the world, you needed to understand how systems work, both the natural world and the financial world. After graduating, he was accepted to a PhD program at Stanford University in California. The heart of Silicon Valley, the center of the technology universe. He was going to study energy physics at one of the most famous universities on Earth. He lasted exactly 2 days, not because he failed, but because he looked around at what was happening in Silicon Valley in 1995. The internet was exploding. Companies were being built overnight. The future was happening right now. And he decided he could not sit in a classroom while the world was changing so fast outside the window. He withdrew from Stanford, called his brother Kimball, and said, "Let's start a company." The company was called Zip2. The idea was simple but ahead of its time. Zip2 created online city guides, digital maps where local businesses could advertise themselves so that customers could find them. Imagine a combination of Google Maps and a business directory. But in 1995, when most people had never heard of the internet, Elon and Kimball worked out of a tiny office. They slept on beanbags. They showered at the local YMCA. They could barely afford to keep the lights on. There were moments when they genuinely did not know if they would make it through the week. But slowly, newspaper companies and media organizations began to notice what Zip2 could do. Business started coming in. The team grew. The idea worked. In 1999, a technology company called Compaq acquired, that means bought, Zip2 for approximately $307 million. Elon's share was around $22 million. He was 27 years old and a multi-millionaire. Most people would have bought a yacht. Elon started another company the same year. This one was called X.com, a company focused on online financial services, allowing people to send and receive money over the internet. It was a radical idea at a time when most people still paid for almost everything with cash or checks. X.com merged with a competitor called Confinity. And out of that merger came a new name that you almost certainly recognize: PayPal. PayPal grew fast. It became the payment system that powered the early internet economy. In 2002, the online shopping giant eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon walked away with $180 million. 2 companies, 2 exits, still only 30 years old. Now, the interesting part is what Elon did next, because what he did next told the world everything about who he really was. With $180 million in his bank account, Elon Musk could have retired. He could have bought a mansion, traveled the world, and lived very comfortably for the rest of his life. Instead, he moved to Los Angeles and announced that he was going to build a rocket company. People thought he was insane. The space industry at that time was dominated by enormous government agencies and giant corporations that had been building rockets for decades. Nobody started a private rocket company. It simply was not done. The technology was too complex, the costs were too enormous, and the risks were too high. Elon did not care. In 2002, he founded Space Exploration Technologies, which the world now knows simply as SpaceX. His goal was not just to build rockets. His goal was to make humans a multiplanetary species, meaning he wanted humans to live on other planets, starting with Mars. Why Mars? Because Elon believed, and still believes, that keeping all of humanity on a single planet is too dangerous. One asteroid, one pandemic, one catastrophic war, and humanity could be gone forever. Mars, he argued, was our backup plan. The early years of SpaceX were brutal. Their first rocket, called the Falcon 1, failed on its first launch. Then its second. Then its third. Each failure cost millions of dollars. Each failure put the entire company at risk. Elon later admitted that he was so stressed during this period that he could barely sleep. He was pouring everything, his money, his time, his reputation, into something that kept exploding on the launch pad. In 2008, with money almost completely gone, the Falcon 1 was launched for the fourth time. It worked. It reached orbit. It was the first privately built, liquid-fueled rocket in history to reach Earth's orbit. Elon Musk reportedly burst into tears on the launch floor. Shortly after that historic launch, NASA, the American Space Agency, awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to supply the International Space Station. It was the validation that saved the company. SpaceX went on to achieve things that experts had called impossible. They built reusable rockets that could launch into space, turn around, and land themselves back on Earth, ready to fly again. They dramatically reduced the cost of reaching space. They sent astronauts to the International Space Station. And they are still, right now, building the largest rocket ever constructed, called Starship, which is designed to carry humans to Mars. While SpaceX was fighting for its survival, Elon was also getting involved in another company that most investors thought was heading towards disaster. Tesla Motors had been founded in 2003 by a group of engineers in Silicon Valley. Their goal was to build an electric car that people actually wanted to drive, not a slow, ugly vehicle that looked like it belonged in a science project, but a beautiful, fast, desirable machine. Elon joined Tesla as chairman and lead investor in 2004. He put $6.5 million of his own money into the company. He became CEO in 2008, right in the middle of a global financial crisis, right when Tesla was running out of money, right when the company was on the edge of collapse. He refused to let it fall. Tesla's first car was the Roadster, a sleek electric sports car that could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. It proved a point. Electric cars could be exciting. Then came the Model S, a luxury sedan with a range of over 300 miles on a single charge. Then the Model X, a futuristic SUV with doors that opened like wings. Then the Model 3, a more affordable car designed to bring electric vehicles to millions of ordinary people. Then the Model Y, which became one of the best-selling cars in the entire world. Today, Tesla is not just a car company. It is an energy company. Tesla builds massive batteries that can store solar and wind power for homes and businesses. It builds solar roof panels that look like ordinary roof tiles. Elon's vision was always bigger than just selling cars. It was about changing the entire energy system of the planet. Before Tesla, almost no mainstream car company was taking electric vehicles seriously. Today, every major car manufacturer in the world is racing to catch up with what Tesla started. That is the power of one stubborn, visionary person who refused to accept the world as it was. Elon Musk is not a man who does one thing at a time. While running SpaceX and Tesla, two of the most demanding companies in the world, he has also founded or co-founded several other companies that are trying to solve different enormous problems. Neuralink is working on technology that places tiny electrodes, extremely small wires, in the human brain, allowing it to communicate directly with computers. The potential applications are breathtaking. Imagine helping people who are paralyzed to control a robotic arm with just their thoughts. Imagine restoring the ability to speak to someone who has lost it. Neuralink has already implanted its first devices in human patients, with early promising results. The Boring Company, and yes, the name is a clever joke about the word boring, which means both dull and the act of digging tunnels, is working on a network of underground tunnels beneath cities. The idea is to reduce traffic congestion by moving vehicles underground, traveling at high speed in enclosed pods. Tunnels have already been built in Las Vegas, and more cities are exploring the concept. xAI is Elon's artificial intelligence company, founded in 2023. It is building an AI system called Grok, designed to be curious, honest, and unafraid to engage with difficult questions. Elon has been a vocal critic of certain approaches to AI development, arguing that AI must be safe, transparent, and beneficial to all of humanity, not just to those who create it. Each of these companies is, in its own way, a bet on the future. And Elon Musk is the kind of person who is very comfortable making bets. Elon Musk is the richest person in the world. But if you study how he got there, you will notice something unusual. He did not get rich by being careful. He got rich by being willing to lose everything. When he sold PayPal in 2002, he took his entire fortune and split it 3 ways. Between SpaceX, Tesla, and Solar City, his solar energy company, all 3 companies were considered extremely risky investments. Many of the world's smartest investors said he was making a terrible mistake. In 2008, when the global financial crisis hit, all three companies were in crisis simultaneously. Elon later said that during that year, he was borrowing money from friends just to pay his rent. He could have walked away. He could have saved what little remained and started something safer. He did not. This willingness to absorb risk, to keep going when everything is falling apart, is perhaps the single most important trait that separates Musk from other successful people. He has a phrase he uses often. He says that he operates on the principle of first principles thinking. This means that instead of following what everyone else does, he breaks a problem down to its most fundamental parts and builds a solution from scratch. When experts told him that rockets had to cost $65 million, because that is what they had always cost, he asked why. He examined every component. He questioned every assumption. And he found ways to build rockets for a fraction of the traditional price. He also believes deeply in learning from failure. SpaceX has had many public, spectacular, expensive failures. But Musk has always said that a failed rocket launch is not wasted money. It is purchased data. Every explosion teaches the team something new. Every setback eliminates a wrong answer and brings you closer to the right one. Perhaps most importantly, Musk thinks on a time scale that most companies do not. He does not ask, "What will this look like in 5 years?" He asks, "What needs to be true for humans to be on Mars in 20 years?" And then he works backwards from that vision to figure out what to build today. The money, he says, is not the goal. The money is the fuel. It is what lets him pursue the real goal, which is to make humanity better, stronger, and more resilient. Of course, Elon Musk is also a deeply complicated human being. He has been married 3 times. He has more than 10 children. Some with his former wives, some with colleagues who worked at his companies. He has spoken openly about the fact that he struggles to be as present for his children as he would like. The demands of running multiple world-changing companies leave very little room for school plays and bedtime stories. He is known for sleeping on the factory floor when production crises hit Tesla, for sending emails at 3 in the morning, for expecting his employees to work at the same intense pace that he sets for himself. This has earned him both fierce loyalty and fierce criticism. Some employees describe working for Musk as the most exciting and meaningful experience of their careers. Others have described it as exhausting and relentless. He is also famously active and famously unpredictable on social media. His posts range from serious announcements about SpaceX missions to absurd internet memes to statements that have moved financial markets and triggered regulatory investigations. He is a person who seems to say exactly what he is thinking, without the layers of careful PR management that most public figures use. This is thrilling to some people and deeply alarming to others. He has admitted to struggling with periods of deep self-doubt and what sounds very much like depression. Despite the extraordinary success surrounding him, there are moments, he says, when the weight of the goals he has set feels almost unbearable. He presses on anyway. He is not a simple person to admire or to criticize. He contains contradictions. He is capable of enormous generosity and of stunning callousness. He can be humble about failure and arrogant about success. He is, in many ways, a very large human being, with all of the beauty and the flaws that come with that. In October 2022, Elon Musk completed one of the most controversial business deals in recent memory. He purchased Twitter, the social media platform used by politicians, journalists, celebrities, and ordinary people around the world to share information and opinions, for approximately $44 billion. The acquisition shocked almost everyone. Twitter had been struggling financially for years, and many analysts believed Elon was dramatically overpaying. What followed was even more shocking. Within days of completing the purchase, Elon laid off approximately half of Twitter's workforce, thousands of people, by email. He ended remote work policies. He dissolved the company's trust and safety teams. He reinstated accounts that had previously been banned for spreading harmful content. He changed the verification system. He rebranded the platform entirely, replacing the iconic bluebird logo with a simple letter, X. Reactions were extreme and divided. Some users celebrated what they saw as a return to free expression and an end to what they called censorship. Others left the platform entirely, horrified by what they saw as the dismantling of protections against harassment and misinformation. The episode revealed something important about Elon Musk. He is not afraid to break things. He genuinely believes that institutions, companies, and systems need to be shaken up, even at enormous cost, to improve. Whether this approach to Twitter has succeeded or failed is still very much debated. But it confirmed that when Elon says he is going to do something, he is not performing. He means it. So where does this story go from here? The honest answer is that nobody knows, including, probably, Elon himself. SpaceX continues to push forward with Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built. Fully tested and refined, Starship is designed to carry up to 100 people at a time on a journey to Mars. Elon has said publicly that he wants to see the first crewed missions to Mars within this decade. Whether that timeline holds is uncertain, but the progress is real and accelerating. Tesla continues to expand, building new factories in Europe, Asia, and the United States. The company is working on autonomous vehicles, cars that drive themselves, and a new product called the Cybertruck, a futuristic-looking electric pickup truck that has already attracted hundreds of thousands of pre-orders. Neuralink is in the early stages of human trials, with results that scientists are watching very closely. The potential to help people with paralysis, blindness, and neurological disorders is genuine and profound. And xAI, his artificial intelligence company, is entering one of the most significant technological races in human history. Elon has said that he believes AI may be the most transformative and the most dangerous technology humanity has ever developed. He wants to be at the table, helping to shape how it grows. There is also the larger question of influence. Elon Musk does not just run companies. He shapes conversations. He moves markets. He has, in many ways, become one of the most powerful private individuals in the history of the world. More powerful in some respects than many heads of state. What will he do with that power? How will history judge the choices he has made and will make? Those are questions that do not have answers yet. But one thing seems clear. Elon Musk has never been content to live inside the world as it is. From the time he was a boy reading encyclopedias in Pretoria, he has been trying to imagine the world as it could be. And then, stubbornly, obsessively, imperfectly, trying to build it. Whether you admire him or doubt him, whether you see him as a visionary or as a cautionary tale, it is very difficult to argue that the world is the same as it would have been without him. Rockets land themselves now. Millions of people drive electric cars. A private company is preparing to take humans to another planet. Whatever you think of the man, those are not small things. Every great story makes us think about our own. Elon Musk was once a boy who felt like he did not belong, who found refuge in books, who was told by the world around him that his dreams were too big, too strange, too impossible. And he built rockets anyway. So here is a question for you, and we really would love to read your answer in the comments below. Think about a moment when someone told you that something you wanted to do was too difficult, or not realistic, or simply impossible. What did you do? Did you listen to them? Or did you find a way to try anyway? Tell us your story, big or small, every answer matters. If this video helped you learn something new today, whether it was a new English word, a new idea, or a new way of seeing the world, please give it a like. It takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps us reach more learners just like you. And if you would like to keep growing your English through stories like this one, subscribe to Woven English. We are here every week with a new story, a new journey, and a new chance to learn together. Thank you for being here. We will see you in the next one.